We've all heard about Joe Rogan's comedy Mothership over the last few weeks. The club has been under fire, and people have been calling out Rogan to respond. For a while he ignored it, but when people didn't stop talking, he finally addressed it on his podcast, and it only made things worse.
This is another thing that pisses me off about all these comics talking shit about the Austin scene. There's so many things going on here. So many clubs. People have like made this, again, this straw man. Like you have to have an N-word joke and you have to have a trans joke. Like fuck, that club is so diverse.
Incredibly diverse.
But naturally.
Yes.
With no effort. It's all just funny people.
Who's the funniest?
People are funny in all shapes and sizes from all walks of life. Whatever struggle you've had that manifests itself in humor.
That's right.
Exists. There's tons of people in that club that are gay. Most of the comedians...
Handicapped.
But it's not really about who performs there. What comedians are calling out is how the place has turned into something that only benefits people who use Joe Rogan's name to stay relevant. Comics who aren't part of it say they're treated like trash. Inside the club, there's even a private area called the Green Room, where only Rogan and his close friends are allowed to hang out. Everyone else has to stay at the regular bar like they're fans instead of comics. For a club that was supposed to represent free comedy, it feels more like a members-only club. Joe Rogan himself even kicked a comedian out of the Green Room because he wasn't part of the inner circle.
So that night after the podcast, Shane had a set at the Mothership Comedy Club. So he invited me, and in between sets, I'm chilling at the bar downstairs, and I'm getting like lightweight blown up by fans, which is fine. You know, I love fans. It was chill, but I was kind of like in a more relaxed headspace. I wanted to just doze off, you know, listen to comedy, chill. And so I told Lemaire, I'm like, yo, can I go upstairs to the Green Room? I'm trying to, you know, kick back and, you know, lay low for a bit. He's like, man, I could take you there, but just so you know, Joe Rogan's a bit territorial about that Green Room. Like, so it's at your own risk. And I'm like, dude, no way, it's gonna be fine. Joe Rogan's reacted to like 7 of my videos because Jamie always plays them, so I'm like, it's gonna be chill. So me and Lemaire take the elevator up to the secret Green Room at the Mothership. There's 5 comedians in there, all in their mid-20s. Everybody recognizes me except for Joe Rogan. So everybody's dapping me up. Lemaire says, hey, Joe, it's my homie Andrew. Shake Joe Rogan's hand. I put some popcorn in the microwave, which I felt like was establishing myself as a member of the Green Room. And then I turn around and I see Joe Rogan like yelling at the security guard. And he's yelling, who let this journalist in here? Kick him the out. I can hear Joe saying this. I guess somebody told him that I was like a journalist, so he maybe thought that I was a Daily Beast reporter that had snaked my way into his safe space to ask him about ivermectin, which is a valid concern. So before I could even get kicked out, I was like, Lemaire, I gotta get out of here. And I walked down the stairs and went back into general population.
When Joe first started the comedy Mothership, he wanted to build a space where his friends could perform freely, away from what they saw as the restrictions of Los Angeles comedy.
2021 rolled around, there was like 15, 16 world-class comics living in Austin.
Wow.
And then I was like, I'm buying a club. And Ron talked me into it. He's like, you got to get a club. We got to do this. Because, you know, he knew I got a bunch of money from the Spotify deal. So I was like, all right, let's do it. And so then in 2022 or 3, I guess, we opened up. And it's just been gangbusters ever since. And now it's like, this is the hub of comedy in the country, which makes it the hub of comedy in the known universe.
But the buzz didn't last. The same comedy club Joe Rogan opened to make things easier for comedians has now become known for doing the opposite. It was supposed to be a place where any comic could perform without dealing with politics or favoritism, but now it's one of the hardest clubs to get into unless you're part of Rogan's inner circle.
I didn't like it. I didn't like the vibe at the Mothership. I got in trouble for being in the Green Room, apparently.
Oh, you did?
I got a security guard took me into the Green Room.
Took you right out.
And I was like, hello. And then apparently after I wasn't invited in, so apparently Joe was mad at me.
That you were there?
That I was in the Green Room.
But he knows who you are. You've met before?
No, he doesn't.
Oh,
I
you
met
never
him that day. I got up, I go, hello, how are you? Great club. And then apparently I was ousted the next day.
Wow.
What do you think I don't like the vibe there. I don't know. I mean, also I'm like, he could have just been like, get the up and like, your club.
Yeah,
your club, your rules.
That's right. Yeah.
But it wasn't that. It was the vibe of the. I did it again last year. It's the other comedians.
Mm-hmm.
Mark Maron was one of the first to take a real shot at it. On different podcasts, he said the Rogan world made comedy lazy.
Well, at this point, it's lazy and sloppy and hackneyed. You know, to be in a fucking club where, you know, I'm walking down the hall at the comedy club, at the Comedy Store, and, you know, in one room, someone's doing their bit about trans people, and then I get down the hall and there's someone on stage going, well, I guess I got to do my bit about trans people. Like, no, you don't.
He called out how so many of them punched down instead of writing smart jokes.
Like, at what point It's like whatever they represented in terms of policy. And it's not a stretch. It's like they won. Trans people are frightened. They have no ability to get health care anymore. And they're afraid of being alive and have no freedom left. So that's done. When do you stop with the jokes?
When
Maron said that, most of Rogan's circle ignored him, but as time passed, more people started agreeing with him. Bobby Lee later said something similar.
You know when like you're hanging out with another comedian, he says the N-word around you for the first time?
Yeah.
I like that. That's a little trust that I'm in the circle.
Here we go. Let's talk about this real quick, okay? I'm not with that, what you guys are doing in Austin.
What do you mean?
Well, let's be real. I don't like some of the words you guys use freely.
Like what?
It's like edgelord shit. It's like
not all of it.
I know, but it's becoming so hacky to me that 100%. People, you guys use these words just for the shock factor.
100%.
It's like I'm not into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think the R word sometimes, but I would never say the N word.
Even Tim Dillon said a lot of people who moved to Texas thinking it would make them famous are realizing that it didn't. He joked that Austin was supposed to be the next big thing, but all it did was produce the same kind of comics, doing the same type of material.
You know, listen, as a city, it's just, you cannot compare it, sorry, to New York or Los Angeles. Can't be
nice
compared.
to hear that.
Can't be compared.
Nice to hear it.
I mean, that's not news to anyone, right? I mean, no one.
Not to us.
Don't say that in the green room with the mothership.
Yeah.
They'll stab you.
Not only them, a lot more comedians are now clowning on the whole Rogan circle. It's become a running joke in the stand-up world.
What's New York's take on Austin?
Oh, it's a punchline for sure.
Really?
I would never move there.
I think the move out there was ridiculous.
I think
100 people moving there to try to get one of 8 spots available at Mothership.
And they keep saying, "Hey, it's a boom, a comedy boom," but it's one club.
One club, and the Creek in the Cave. There's Creek in the Cave and Cap City. That's it. Really? Everything else is a bar.
The hype around Rogan's world is fading, and comedians are no longer scared to say it.
Like, the comedy Mothership is so tight knit,
right?
And it's I also heard it's not a fun hang if you're an Austin comic.
What, the Mothership?
If you're not like in with Rogan and his crew, if you're coming up, it's not like the Cellar. The Cellar, you could sit at the bar and feel awkward. Yeah. I've heard the Mothership, you have to get past Navy SEALs to get into the...
When Rogan finally responded on his podcast, he didn't really help his case. He said people were being dramatic and the Austin scene was stronger than ever. He said critics were jealous or too soft, but fans didn't buy it.
It's new. And so if you're on the outside and you're not in, you try to find some criticism. That's look, criticism is fine if you're telling the truth. But there's a bunch of people that are making things up because they're trying to attack something that they can't be a part of.
That's right.
And most of the reason you can't be a part of it is because you're...
Online comments turned against him fast. People said he sounded defensive and out of touch. Even some of his longtime followers said his shows and guests felt repetitive. The problem isn't that Rogan stopped being funny. It's that his circle stopped being interesting. His friends all talk about the same topics. They complain about cancel culture, talk about how everyone's too sensitive, and repeat the same bits that worked years ago. You can listen to 10 of their podcasts, and it all sounds like one long episode. The comedians around Rogan are also part of the issue. They agree with everything he says, and they repeat his takes like fans. When one of them says something stupid, the others laugh it off instead of pushing back. They all benefit from being in Rogan's orbit, so no one challenges him. That kind of environment kills creativity. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure to subscribe to our channel for more updates and stories like this one.